If you had a chance to change one thing in the Caribbean community, what would that be?
How we view ourselves. I think that I remember our Prime Minister when she first came in talking about the fact that we need a different kind of consciousness, and I think that's very true. It sometimes breaks my heart to realize that we don't love ourselves as we should, we don't value ourselves as we should, and we don't value all of the gifts that we've been given as we should. And so we don't treat them with the level of respect and care that are necessary to really take our destinations, our islands, our countries to the next level.
Just want to tell you, you are amazing.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You know why I'm saying that? Because, you know, when you travel, they always say that black people in the Caribbean cannot do anything.
The building here, supermarket, Barbados Street, owned by Chinese.
The whole supermarket
Every supermarket you see on St. James Street
is owned by Chinese.
Owned by Chinese.
So what do black people own here then?
The street. And the street.
What do you mean they own the street?
How terrible.
Have you heard that before?
I've heard negative stereotypes attached to black people, yes.
You know, some were even telling me, apart from them dancing in the carnival, what else do you see? And I'm like, no way, there's more. And so when I got here the first day, I started testing. Please, I just want to see black-owned businesses in here. And I'm so glad a lot of people recommended you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's lovely. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Renie Coffin. I am the owner, operator, and general manager of Infinity on the Beach and Pirates Inn. I run these two small properties, all of the marketing, the management, day-to-day operations of the property I am responsible for. The thing that I think people may not realize about entrepreneurship is it's a lot of hard work. And maybe there are people who've done it better or smarter than me that it's not hard work for them, but for me, that is one of the defining features of being an entrepreneur, that you really have to be committed and very hardworking.
How does it feel anytime you see people coming in and out of your property?
I feel very proud because I'm Barbadian, because I'm female, because I'm black, and because I think it's important that people see people that look like themselves represented in spaces like this. So it makes me very happy. I started this business 10 years ago, and it was at that time closed up. It was a hotel before that, but it had been closed and out of operation for a while. So when I started, it was me bringing something that was no longer alive back to life.
Wow.
And so yes, it makes me very proud and very happy to come in here every day. And when it's busy like this and it's full.
Let's go back 10 years ago.
Okay.
What were you doing 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I was running another hotel, which I'm hoping that you'll get to see as well. It's
No,
a small budget hotel called Pirates Inn. And I was looking for some money to do some work there, and I was being told, you need more rooms, you need more rooms. Anything less than 50 rooms is a waste of time. And so I literally started driving around looking for rooms, and that's how I came kind of across this project, this property.
So then I think I need to go back again.
Okay.
Before that small budget hotel, what were you doing?
Oh, I was running a secretariat called the Intimate Hotels of Barbados.
Okay.
And that's a grouping of, at that time, around 40-something properties, small properties, that had come together to do marketing and other joint projects together, because recognizing that there's strength in numbers. And together we made up about 15% of the accommodation sector in Barbados. And I was the founding executive director of that secretariat. And one day I just started a conversation after I'd had my first child. I started a conversation with one of the owners, and she said, I want to move into doing something new, and I'm looking for somebody to take over the property. And from there evolved my relationship with Pirates Inn, which was a lease to own. And I'm pleased to say that I now own, or, you know,
Wow.
yeah, that property. And then 8 years later, this project came about. So 18 years I've been running small hotels.
What really inspired you to start your own hotel?
I think I believe in speaking things into being, and I
Oh, wow.
always, having worked with the small hotels and seeing, because there are a lot of smaller properties that are locally owned and operated, and having seen others doing it, I said it's something that I think I can do. And I thought I would be good working for myself.
Okay.
And so this is a space, I love tourism, it's a space that I really enjoy. I love service, I love serving people. I love my island, and I love what we offer as a tourism destination. And so I always knew I wanted to get into tourism. Even when I was in a more corporate space, I always knew I wanted to be in tourism.
Was it that easy?
No,
Setting
nothing
up-
is easy. Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy. And I always say this when I do interviews and I talk about, there's nothing particularly special about me. I just work hard. And so when I decide I'm going to do something, I figure out how I'm going to do it. I try to surround myself with the right people to get it done, and I just go at it. And I work hard, and I don't, even though I work for myself, it's not easier. I work harder probably than I would if I worked in a job for somebody else, but I enjoy it. It gives me a lot of satisfaction and reward, personal reward, and I have a lot of autonomy, and I don't have to take a lot of from people because at the end of the day, I make the decisions. So.
How many people have you employed now?
About 70 right now.
Wow,
Between the two properties, yes. Full-time and part-time, about 70 people.
that's amazing. You know what? Tell me what is so unique about this property that we're in right now.
I think, and this is going to sound very cliche, but what is special about this property is really the people, like my staff, and I think that is true of our destination. What makes Barbados special is not our beaches. Everywhere, there are lots of places that have lovely beaches like we do. Our beaches, our beautiful water, you know, but what makes Barbados so very repeatable is our people. And it's what makes this property. I was just chatting with a guest over here and he was saying that to me. He's been here 11 times and he was saying to me that I need to make sure that I have great staff. I need to make sure that I ensure that I keep them and keep them happy because that's what makes a difference. You know, that's what makes them want to come back. That's what makes them want to spend the money. And obviously the great location. We were right on one of the most stunning beaches on the island, 800 meters of pure white sand, beautiful waters. We're in the heart of St. Lawrence Gap, which is the entertainment kind of district. We have just on, I think on this strip alone, about 40 restaurants, so range of dining experiences. Next door, they're locally owned. You get, you know, from high end right through to street food, right in this very small concentrated mile. So there's a lot in the area. This property is well placed because it's in the center of it all. And I think those are the things that make us special.
But why is it so difficult to see black-owned hotels along the stretch of, in the island?
I think hotel ownership is a capital-intensive type of thing. You have to have usually money to get into it, or be very creative in how you're going to create models. So my model has been the lease to own or lease to operate. So I lease this property, and the other property I started as a lease to own. But if you don't have a lot of money, it can be a little bit daunting. I didn't have a lot of money when I started. I just was creative. I had an owner at the time willing to work with me. And you have to be willing to take risk. It's a big risk because every day the expenses are here. Whether or not you can pay them, whether or not they're guests, you have those expenses. And so I think that is what is daunting for a lot of people. It's not, there's this term that came up that I hear a lot, hustlepreneurship. You can't hustle, I mean, you have to hustle, but it's not hustlepreneurship. It's real live business, and you have to have a plan as to how you're going to keep it going, keep your staff engaged, and just keep things running.
What is one thing that always keeps you moving?
Truthfully, my commitment that I have to the people that work with me. That's what keeps me going. Because even in times when this was really painful and difficult, like during COVID, for me it was about, I have a relationship. This is like a family. A lot of my staff have been here with me from the beginning of this project. And so it has been about ensuring that I can keep my family together, keep this business going. Because I remember I talked to you about this being like a child.
Yeah.
So you almost feel the same commitment as you do to a child because you've given birth to this project. You've seen it grow. You've seen it through all the stages. Mine is a young adult. The other one is now for me a young adult. This one is still, 10 years old. It still kind of needs nurturing. But it's seeing your child, your project, and everything you built around it, ensuring that it continues. And it gives you such a sense of reward.
What I want to know is like, how does it feel like being a female entrepreneur in Barbados?
I think I'm going to say it feels great. So I always grew up seeing the model of women working. My mother was a single mother. She worked. My grandmother was always working, always finding something to do. So for me, women working hard and women working is nothing new. And if I were to model myself after someone, I would say it's my grandmother, because she was, in my view, an entrepreneur. She did farming, and through her small acreage, she fed our household, and she was able to have enough that she could also sell. So I think entrepreneurship is important for women in particular because it gives us a lot of control of our own destiny and a lot of voice that we might not otherwise have.
If you have a message for young women out there, what would that message be who are looking forward to be an entrepreneur?
Being an entrepreneur is not necessarily the destination. It's about really establishing what you want to accomplish with your life. And sometimes entrepreneurship is the path that you need to take to accomplish that. So wherever you're, for me, I would not be, I think, as solid in many areas as I am if I had not worked with other people.
Yeah.
So I am not going to say to anybody, make entrepreneurship your goal. I'm going to say, have an idea as to what you want to accomplish in life, the things you want to do, the things you enjoy, the things that you feel you can add value to. And wherever you place yourself, wherever you find yourself, work hard in that space, get good at what it is you're doing, master it, so that you can always grow, lend to the next level of your journey.
What has been the worst moment of your life in this whole business? The worst moment, the time that you felt like, you know what, I'm done.
I think COVID would have to be up there. COVID would have to be up there. COVID was that moment where I'm not sure I can do this. I don't know why I'm doing it. There has to be an easier path, and at some points in that journey, I couldn't see the end. I couldn't see the destination. I knew where I wanted to go, and I knew I wanted to keep the business going, but it wasn't obvious to me how I was going to get there. And so that's why I know that sometimes the one foot in front of the other, sometimes that is the best route to take.
How many rooms do you have in here at the moment?
This property is 66 rooms.
66 rooms?
Yeah.
So in total, like together with the other?
88 rooms.
88
Yeah.
rooms. Wow. Why should somebody stay in this hotel?
I think because if you want an authentic Barbadian vacation, you're going to be hard-pressed to find somewhere that delivers better on that. I mean, we are local staff, locally owned and operated. We put a lot of value into thinking about the things that make us special. Like our menu for dinner is almost 100% Barbadian.
Wow.
We try to theme a lot of the things that we do along the lines so persons are exposed to Barbadian culture. And it means something to me because I'm Bajan. So that's what I would say you would get from staying in this hotel.
I really want to know what you really need to start a business. Is it more money or just something else?
For me, I would say the money was not the most important thing. It was the idea, it was the proof that I had the experience, and it was developing a good business plan and to convince somebody that I could deliver on the business plan that I developed. So I think I think sometimes it's investing that time at the beginning in kind of framing out what it is you want to accomplish and ensuring that you are very clear in your own mind, because things will evolve. There are things that I had in my business plan that have never come to be. There are things that were in the business plan that I have been able to execute very well. So, but starting with that initial frame, and I think that planning is important. It's not always the only and end all or be all, but I think it's important. So I think having the idea, having the concept, having the capacity, because a lot of people start out with an idea, but they have no knowledge of the area, they have no skill set, they have no connections, they just have this great idea. And sometimes that works out. But I think often it is that you have built a relationship, you've built expertise in a particular area, and then you're able to use that to leverage you. And that's what I was able to do with my business.
What is that favorite quote of yours that keeps it moving? A favorite quote?
There's one, I think it was attributed to Nelson Mandela, but it's not his quotation, I believe. But it is one that kept me going through every project. It always seems impossible until it's done. Who said that? It wasn't. I think it was attributed
Nelson Mandela.
to Nelson. He actually said it?
Yeah, he said it.
Okay.
Wow. Why does it seem so impossible?
Because there were not a lot of people who didn't have generational wealth or connections that had these kinds of projects around me. So this did not seem doable.
Are you looking forward to creating generational wealth?
Yes, it's very important. It's very important. And that's something I talk to my sons about a lot, because I think that is something as Black people we have not valued. I think that we are unfortunately a lot of us are too into conspicuous consumption and not about creating wealth and building assets. And somebody once said to me, a very wise man called Hudson Hudson said to me that the only way you can create true wealth is to work for yourself. And that stuck with me. So I don't know if it's necessarily true. I'm sure there are lots of people who are very wealthy who work for others, but it's something that I think is an important message for us.
Is the wedding only on invitation?
Yes.
Oh.
Is that not how it works in Ghana?
No. Someone is getting married and I just pass by for the food.
I came here because of the food.
go back home. So I thought I could just pass by here and then eat and go home.
We had a wedding that turned out like that once, where people just passed
So
by.
all the weddings are strictly invitation?
Yes.
Invitation weddings are for like, rich elite kind of.
Is that how your wedding was?
I mean, my wedding.
Or were you elite? This is our land side, and this is where we have 18 of our 66 rooms. These are mainly larger family style accommodation. And obviously our main pool and our gym are also on the side.
It's beautiful. Woo. Wow.
It is?
This is my kind of place. So this is how I travel. Whenever I travel, I always want to have a place that I got my kitchen to make my own meal.
Yeah, I like that facility.
Oh my goodness.
So it is a budget room, but we try to make them as nice as possible.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, this is, oh my goodness. Can I stay here before I leave? Oh, this is what we call minimalist, but
Yes.
with a touch of luxury.
There you go. Comfortable, affordable, repeatable. That's what we like to say.
That's amazing, man. I have so many young Africans that watch me globally. If you have a message to that young African listening right now, what would that message be?
I think that in your immediate space, there's somebody that you can look up to, and it's important that you identify that person in your immediate space before you even look outside. I'm happy to be a role model to somebody. I really am, and it's meaningful to me. But I think often we overlook the role models that are right in front of us. And so what I would like to encourage us as Black people, as African descendants to do, is to try to be engaging in behaviors, in processes that are allowing us to be those role models. And that starts right within your own home, within your own community. How you treat to your family, being there for your children. The little things that make a meaningful difference in somebody's lives. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because those are the things that I value most. I think the things that I do well is that are not visible to the public.
Yeah.
Young people work hard. We've fallen into this trap about working smart and all of these clever ways of making money, but there's a lot to be said for putting in effort and just building something literally through hard work. And I think we've lost that. And I think particularly for our young men, it is a damaging messaging that somehow there's a shortcut to everything and that everything is going to be placed in your lap. I think we have to get back to the place like our forefathers of putting in honest hard work and being willing to build what we want, because it wasn't any easier for them than it is for us.